Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome inside Enterprise Center. Another Game Day Live. Chris Kerber alongside Darren Pang. And the homestand continues tonight for the St. Louis Blues. We've got the Blues. We've got the Flames. It's a 7 o'clock face-off. The game on the radio side on 101 ESPN. On the TV side with Panger and John Kelly on Fox Sports Midwest. And Panger, second meeting of the season between these two teams.
Yep.
No need to speak a lot of German in this one. It ought to just be a battle.
It should be a battle for sure. I think that the Flames come in here a wounded animal. Not playing very well, taking a lot of penalties as well. And I think that's an area that the Blues can maybe take advantage of here. So the Calgary Flames lead 108 minor penalty. They just keep going to the penalty box. They lead the league in goalie interference calls. So I think this is an area the Blues stay disciplined. They get on the power play, and they can take advantage of that because we know they're getting chances 5-on-5 curbs.
Right.
They're getting their scoring chances, but they're not capitalizing. So maybe it's a game in which the special team can maybe take this game over.
Well, we talked to Craig Berube earlier this morning. And one of the things he talked about was, he said, I like the scoring chances that we're getting.
Yeah.
We just have to find a way to bury more of them.
Yeah, I think we were maybe focused a little bit on that last game, too, how many times they missed the net, because Craig had said that earlier in the day, and the game before, 14 times they had prime A-plus scoring chance, and they missed the net. So you don't even get a rebound chance there. You don't even get like any type of defensive havoc for the other team. They just goes around the boards and maybe out of the zone. So I thought that in the last game they focused hard early on of hitting the net, and then a couple of guys had some great chances. Listen, it's hard nowadays, Curbs. Like, the goalies aren't my size. There's hardly any net. That Vasilevsky's a big goaltender with quick hands, and then obviously goal scorers want to pick their spots. I saw a couple of times down between the benches, Jaden Schwartz is real tight, and he's got a chance to go high glove, and he just missed. Now, it's a missed opportunity, but where else is a goal scorer going to go? He's going to try to hit that mark. I think they just have to do a better job of just being a little bit more disciplined, and maybe it starts right here in practice, hitting the net and focused on that area.
Well, they did a drill yesterday where they brought out a mannequin, basically, didn't have a head, and thank goodness, because a couple of them would have just blown some chicklets right out of them. No,
that wasn't you?
It was not me. Now, I know it was wide, okay, but it was not wide enough to be me, but they didn't.
And it was too tall for me.
It was way too tall for you. I mean, but they pulled them out in front. They had the defenseman shooting to try and hit the net with it. To that point, one of the strategies that teams do is sometimes you do have to almost pass off the goaltender.
You have to.
And we saw David Perron. Not that the pass from Colton Parayko was an intended pass off the goaltender, but David Perron was in position where those rebounds can lay off the pads.
How about that play? Of all the chances that they had, Colton Parayko runs out of real estate, fires a little, 3-foot saucer pass that hits some bodies and ends up right on the tape. I mean, even the game before that against John Gibson, a big goaltender. I thought that was a game in which you have to show discipline, just like a 7-game playoff series. When the Blues were prepared to play against Tuukka Rask, we know that Jake Allen went down. He did a lot of video with Dave Alexander, and at one point they call him Tuukka Jake in there. You have to focus on certain areas and deficiencies of a goaltender that maybe you're not going to score right away by being disciplined when you're shooting in those areas, but eventually you're going to score a big goal. And I thought the Blues did a great job of that throughout the playoffs last year. Now it's a one-and-done thing. And so it's hard to tell yourself, okay, we've got John Gibson or we've got a Vasilevsky. They're good down low. They give up rebounds off their pads naturally, but don't go up high. They're too big and strong up there. So I think it's just about getting into that mindset again.
All right, well, the depth of the organization right now being tested pretty well. Vladimir Tarasenko already out long-term. Alexander Steen was a minimum 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. And then news broke last night of Sammy Blais. Injured his wrist on that hit, came back and played. Talks about the toughness of the individual.
Sure does.
But it's a wrist that needs surgery. And ironically, it's on a bone in his wrist. Craig Berube had the same injury when he was in junior hockey. And so Craig knows exactly what Sammy Blais is dealing with. That said, now you're going to see Jacob De La Rose be able to go back and play. And then because of the depth and the type of play that Ivan Barbashev and Oscar Sundqvist can play, they're going to be adjusted around the lineup as well. Craig Berube having to move some pieces, but the Blues still have the depth to be successful.
Well, and that's exactly what your general manager does, is you put your coach in a good position. Get NHL players. And I think Doug Armstrong was ahead of the game, just bringing in Jamie McGinn, who was released, but who the heck knows? He could be brought right back,
Sure.
And obviously signing Troy Brouwer, that's out on the ice right now with Carl Gunnarsson and working with Jake Allen. But he's always that way. He's always thinking ahead. At the deadline, he's looking at a defenseman that's got NHL experience. The players that are in the American Hockey League are developing in the American Hockey League, Curbs. And it's going to be soon that they're ready to go and be full-time players. And maybe this is the time that Klim Kostin is a full-time player. Maybe this is that opportunity. Now, if he doesn't seize this opportunity, Now they're looking like we need NHL players, so it'll be a change. And he'll, so hopefully that's not the case, and Klim takes advantage of this. He didn't play a whole lot in the last game. It was pretty tough to get him going. But how impressed were you with Robert Thomas and Oscar Sundqvist?
Well,
I mean, my goodness.
The vision on that one pass was outstanding. I mean, to be able to talk about seeing Oscar Sundqvist toe pick and still be able to get him the puck, and then Sundqvist adjusted, and I thought the Blues tweet was fantastic. It looked like the PlayStation 4 controller died.
Yeah, he went. Vasilevsky covered the one part of the net, but the other half was wide open, and Sonny really took advantage of that. But I think, like, Ivan Barbashev, Oscar Sundqvist, chomping at the bit. Because they're not fourth-line players, and they'd like to get elevated, put in a different role. And see, there's a good example of Oscar Sundqvist grabbing that thing and saying, I got it. And he played a heck of a hockey. He was the first star in that last game.
Yeah, and there is other depth in the organization.
Yep.
Sean Walker just had a 5-point game with San Antonio in the American Hockey League. Nathan Walker, I meant, sorry. And then
you probably broadcast a guy named Sean
I did
Walker.
broadcast real recently, as a matter of fact, actually. So Nathan Walker just had the 5-point game, and he's had some stints, so there's an opportunity. Yes, Jordan Kyrou's down there, but he's still getting his season going. And when they
Austin
do call him up,
Poganski.
well, yeah, when they do call Jordan Kyrou up, there's a chance that could be they call him up for good, and you want him ready for that moment. So they do have some options. They signed Troy Brouwer, but the depth, no doubt, being tested. So a big one tonight, Blues and Flames. I realized something.
I'm taller than you?
Well, I need to just get back down on the step there and then come back in.
Shocking, but I'm standing on a box.
I often wondered where the hair on the top of my head when I realized I just had to let gravity take over.
Yep.
Just pull it right out the bottom of the face. Huh. See that?
Pretty early for the playoffs, aren't you?
What's that?
Is that a Thanksgiving beard?
No, this was purely a 9-day road trip laziness with the razor.
Hey, we're not going to see you on Saturday. But all the congratulations in the world.
Thank you, bud.
Stan Musial, I know how important he is to everybody here in St. Louis, and sportsmanship and what you did. You deserve this, and congratulations. We're going to miss you on Saturday, but Alex Ferrari is going to call the heck out of it, and you enjoy your night.
Thank you, bud.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I'll make sure that we've got the whiskey set for the plane.
That sounds great, pal.
All right, there we go. That's Darren Pang. I'm Chris Kerber. The face-off at 7 o'clock. You've got it on the TV side on Fox Sports Midwest, on the radio side on 101 ESPN. Have a great game day, folks, and tonight we'll see you at the rink.